A teenage rock band solving crimes between gigs. A bongo-playing dog named Too Much. All with the title, Mysteries 5. How did this concept become the Scooby-Doo we all know today?
Looks like we got a real mystery on our hands this time.
At the time, there was only one studio to go to for really dependable material, and that was Hanna-Barbera.
Bill Hanna and Joe Barbera had produced theatrical cartoons for MGM for years, and the theatrical cartoon market had dried up, so they started producing them for television with Rough and Ready and Huckleberry Hound and Quick Draw McGraw. And they had Frankenstein Jr. and The Impossibles on CBS.
Joe Barbera and Bill Hanna also were extremely creative guys. They came out of Tom and Jerry and did all those wonderful shorts. They did Yogi Bear and the Flintstones and Top Cat and the Jetsons.
I figured the way to beat the Beatles was to move on to the next thing. And my feeling was that the next major move was going to be comedy adventure. To take the basic adventure form, but put a twist on it.
Where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We need some help from you now. Come on, Scooby-Doo, I see you. Pretending you got silver. You're not here with me, 'cause I can't see the way you shake and shiver.
We could capture the essence of what Abbott and Costello did, then we would end up with a big hit.
Hey, Scooby! Scooby, Scooby-Doo, looking for you. Scooby, Scooby-Doo, where are you? All the stars are here, waiting for you. Couldn't have a show without you.
Our development time was like throwing Joe Barbera a bunch of ideas, come in, and trying to figure out what the network was looking for, etc.
Well, Fred Silverman said he wanted to do a show with teenagers, and he wanted it to be a comedy mystery.
Sort of either the Archie kids or like Dobie Gillis. So out we went, and then Joe said, Freddie likes dogs. Let's see if we can put a dog in it, too.
So we came up with a group of kids that were musicians, and we had the dog, which we called Too Much. Too Much was not a coward because it was a different situation. He was a bongo player, and they were just one of these musical groups that would travel around, and they'd fall into these mysteries.
So we called the group the Mystery Five, and we typed up a presentation for Fred. I'll never forget this. We typed it up, and we had it shipped over to the Beverly Hills Hotel for him to read. And it was all that spooky night and, stormy and ghosts and, all this kind of stuff. Well, we found out he read it like at 6 o'clock in the morning. And
What happens is that because certain things changed, characters suddenly do things that you don't expect them to do. And Scooby and Shaggy became the team. And they were both cowards.
I wonder what's behind that curtain, Scoob.
Shower?
No, it's not a shower. Now, go in there and take a look. What are you, a dog or a mouse? How do you like that? Man's best friend's a mouse. I guess it's up to me to take a look. But what you can't see can't hurt you.
Daphne, she was a bad luck, danger-prone Daphne, where she'd do something in a bad, something would fall and break just when it shouldn't, and the ghost would hear him.
Velma was, of course, the smart one, the analytical one, the scientist and so forth. He always come up and said, we can see that the Chinese writing is really, if you hold it up to the mirror, it says something and so forth.
If I remember my ancient Aztec, these inscriptions say this room is dedicated to the moon goddess.
Freddie's the leader, and he was the guy that came up with the Rube Goldberg kind of contraptions and so forth. That character started off, I think his name was Jeff, and then he became Harvey, and then all of a sudden Fred came in and said he was going to be Fred.
Jinkies! Jeepers!
Zoinks! Come on, gang. Let's split up and look for more clues.
Quick, do something, Scoob.
Get me down from here, Dinobot.
That's me, Dog Wonder.
Well, in many cases, they're much younger children who don't understand that there are real people behind the character voices. And so usually they're kind of excited to learn that that's how the magic comes about.
Each character has their own nuance. That's the beauty of it all. And when you're doing your thing, you're in another world, like you're doing a broadcast of some kind. Putting your mind in a fantasy. That's what it's all about.
Scooby-Doo! And Dynamite, too.